And now, All the Dirt, gardening tips and advice. Sponsored by Farm Credit, loans for farms, homes, and land.
Welcome back. So as we approach fall, you might be wondering, what are you going to put in the ground? Well, today we have Master Gardner from Bedford, Jim Revell. He's giving us all the dirt on cover crops. Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
So, obvious question here. Tell us, what are cover crops?
Well, the term is usually a crop that basically covers the soil, okay? For the fall and going into the winter generally. A lot of the benefits is primarily keeping from erosion of the soil, keeping nutrients in the soil, keeping moisture in the soil, and then building up the organic matter in the soil.
So we know what cover crops are, but how do you use them? What do you do? What are some examples that you do for cover crops?
Well, some good examples is corn is a very heavy feeder of nitrogen. So planting a legume, which would be a nitrogen fixing type plant like your peas or beans, they will take the nitrogen out of the air, make a little nodule, store the nitrogen, and then you can put that back into the soil by using the cover crop as a cover crop. That's just one example. If you have compacted soil, I like the dakin radishes. It has a tendency to make a very big taproot, which would help break up the soil. It'll also store the mineral content, nutrient content. Then it will generally die if we get a really hard freeze. It will die back, and then you've got the cover, so to speak, cover for the winter. In this case, I planted the dakin radishes primarily for compaction, where I had grown beets during the spring and early summer. And the dakin radish came up, and then all of a sudden the harlequin bug showed up. One interesting thing is it worked great because I could use it to spray for the harlequin bug, and it also kept the harlequin bugs off of my brassicas, my cabbage and broccoli plants. And so it worked great as a trap crop.
My biggest question was, okay, so you put these cover crops, you kind of sprinkle the seeds all over, let them grow. Can you use that produce? Can you harvest that, or is that just there to cover for the winter?
Well, the cover crop is primarily to help build that soil, protect that soil. But there are certain plants that you can harvest. For example, if you're into making bread, let's say, you could grow a winter wheat, okay, and maybe use the crop. If you're growing any of the legumes, you know, like cowpeas or your beans or Australian peas, or some of these other types of peas, you can actually let them grow to harvest and harvest the pods. So yeah, some of those cover crops, you can actually get that extra benefit. But most of the crops are primarily grown just as a cover crop to add, you know, to that soil, build up that soil.
And so it's definitely a more nutritious, I guess, option rather than putting mulch or leaves over winter?
Yes, for sure, for sure. And the one key thing is those plants will actually take up the nutrients and store those nutrients, and then, you know, and come spring and in the summer, it will help reduce the amount of fertilizer that you may need, because you're building that soil. And the healthier the soil, the healthier your plants, the less issues you will have.
Wow, so I guess it's like working smarter, not harder.
Very much so, very much so.
Oh, this is so fascinating, very interesting. We have Jim Revell, Master Gardner out of Bedford. Thanks so much for giving us all the dirt today on cover crops.
My pleasure. Come back anytime.